El Flato. Welcome back, Bailiwick of Guernsey Shipwreck. I'm JP Falaise, and today we're out with Matt and Michelle, and we're going to go north. This boat doesn't know what to do when you come out of the harbour and go left. Socket and see where we're going to go.
I'll just guess.
Just guess. Our whole life's about guessing.
Is it the right dive spot? Have the octopuses eaten everything? Will I find a kayak in a tree?
You can't say that, Matt. You don't know if it's the octopuses.
Oh god.
You can't say that.
They're not our scallops.
Yeah.
They're nature's scallops. The most sustainable way of catching scallops is not good enough for some people.
Can you please tell everyone for the last 60,000 years that they shouldn't be touching the scallops, they're not theirs?
How old is the scallop? Are they prehistoric?
I would have thought so.
And they've always changed. I did ask this question, right? So Richard and Jeff have been diving for like 50 odd years, okay? Have they seen a scallop that inside, internally, the meat and the roe is the wrong way round? And none of them can ever answer that. So it's always laid in a certain pattern. So you get the meat and the roe, you know, and it's always exactly the same. But is there ever a scallop been caught that has got the wrong way round?
So you're on about the roe on the left instead of the right?
Yeah. So when you open it up, you've got the curve, the roe is on the left.
A bit like the lobsters when you get a left cutter or a right cutter.
Or both.
Yeah, or both, yeah. I don't know, I don't think...
Oh, it's a pondering question.
Yeah. Or maybe all of them are like that and you just never noticed. No one's ever answered the question.
Because I always, when I cut the meat out, I always have to move the eggs or the roe a certain way to cut behind it.
Yeah.
So I know that I've never seen one the other way round, but you can't tell me that there isn't one.
Yeah, that's true. There must be abnormalities in it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the thought of the day. Let's get to the radio.
23.5 metres. He is really, really good at that. Yeah. Found a bottle?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Aerated water, I would have thought.
What's it got red on the front?
Palmer and Son, Guernsey.
Yeah, I like that.
Never seen one of those before.
I've never seen one. It's almost like a torpedo. It's got an air bubble in the bottom there, look.
It's a beauty.
Oh, it's got a makers on the back. On the other side, I think.
Oh, number.
And on the back here, look. William Barney and Sons, London. I like that. That's a nice one, mate.
Yeah,
it's a beauty.
Okay.
First of all, we're going to try this corner. It's a little bit out the tide. Should be a little bit better for us. The seabed around here are these huge boulders which make up the Long Coog, which is land reclamation. And on the outside is nice mill beds and some sand. One thing I did notice when I got down here is these huge ormer shells. There's so many dead ones around here. They're obviously getting so large, they're just dying. tends to happen to them when they get really old. They become brittle, and in the middle of the shell it starts breaking away. Look at the size of that one, it's absolutely huge. It's got to be a good 120 to 130 mil across. Awesome, because they got mother of pearl on the inside. Now, I wasn't prepared to see one of these fish. I haven't seen one of these in years. I got pretty excited then. They're very skittish, especially this small. Let's see how close we can get to it. French call these Saint Pierre or Saint Peter. Legend has it that black mark on its side is his thumbprint. Here's another huge shell. Really can't believe how many there is here. Tell you what I'll do is I'll show you what they look like when they're alive. I don't tend to film them much because, to be honest, it's just a mollusk. Not much really to look at. This is one here with its green foot. These are illegal to dive for, and only certain tides you can collect them from the beach. Can't believe the size of the murrelia as well. Obviously, if it's large, it's a lot older than the rest. Imagine how old this stuff is. Definitely the biggest I've ever seen. We just got back out of the water from the left corner there, and we're going to come in on the right corner. Matt has already radioed the harbour. Looking at the tide rushing out from the harbour, it's going to be a fast one. only travelled about 20 metres and we've seen so many crab pots so far. It's a shame they're all lost. Some of them are not worth salvaging, I suppose. This one more looks like a shrimp trap than anything else. This fishing spot is renowned for wrasse. I think I caught a record cuckoo wrasse off of here many years ago. And I used to take it to Len LePage to weigh. I remember doing it one Sunday evening and he was just sitting down for some tea with a couple of friends. These boulders are a lot bigger than you think. I'm guessing between 2.5, 3, 4, 5 ton maybe. That looks like a whelk pot of some sort. These are my favourite type of wrasse. I call them strawberry wrasse. Seems to be loads around at the moment. They can change sexes depending on what's in their environment, what's around them. They always change, they can change sex but they can't change colour, so if it's born that colour, it stays that colour. This rope is running everywhere. Must be pots under there as well. I do remember someone murmuring something about it being very silty around here, but it's not too bad to be honest. I think the tide just runs so fast, the silt never settles. Certainly loads of life around here. And to think it's a man-made structure, I don't know, it was made in 1993. My dad's older brother was on the diggers with the grabs as the barges were coming in. He was grabbing the stone and stacking it up. So, I mean, since then there's been loads of life that are living around here. I keep seeing the odd wrasse and the odd bream. There we go, there's a two-banded bream there, swimming past, with a black bream in front. We are collecting the odd scallop here and there. There is some beasts of scallops here. They're very old. You can tell they're old because they've got barnacles on the underside of the shell. So if we stay here, the bream should come back to us. You just basically got to just stay still. They will come in close. See what happens. It's a nice big scallop. See what I mean with the barnacles underneath? Mish has got one as well. Chuck them in the bag. It's like kind of struggling to stay here because the tide is pushing us back so much. You can tell that by the dust. Gets whisked away straight away. That looks like it's empty, that one. This one looks okay. Looks like an octopus has been in there because there's the remains of a socked out crab and lobster. We got the bream near us. These things are so fast. made it right to the corner. So the tide was taking us due east, and now it's taking us southwesterly. It's going to push us out away from the long hook onto a nice sandbank that makes a corner, and then drift us back into the reef again. Or the man-made reef anyway, which is the long hook boulders. I can see another crab pot right out on the sand. Not quite sure if this one's lost or not. I can't see any cables going back to the surface, but it could be the other end. Let's go and take a look. I can already see there's something silvery and shiny inside. Looks like there's 2 black breams stuck inside, and the pots look pretty good, pretty new. So I'm not going to open the door and let these out. They've been caught by fishermen, and I don't know if these pots are lost or not. I don't think they are. It seems like there's a pile of them here, and the rope or the cable that's tying them together is going all over the shop. There's bream in nearly all of them. Looks like there's 4 pots altogether. Let's follow this cable. It should take us to the last pot, and from there it should be a boff back to the surface. If there isn't, I think these pots have been lost. Pretty cool sandbank. We're not far away from the breakwater, but we've been washed out and around, as I say. We're now drifting back around towards the reef. This is the last pot, and there's no cable going to the surface, so... And there's also fish in here. If they are your pots and you want me to get them back, just give us a shout. We know where they are anyway. It's about time we started heading back towards the long hook, and we'll carry on along that same boulder field. Plenty of fish there. And here's a scallop. Is this a full one? Yep, it's a keeper. There's other fish that are following me as well. There's a pollock alongside me. Keep catching the glint in my eye. Oh, I think he wants to be on camera. Now that's a weird shape, almost looks like a digger bucket. Plenty of great holes for congas to live in, but I haven't seen any yet. thought this was an electric ray then, but it's not. It's just some sort of mineral rock hidden under the sand. This one's almost worth salvaging. It's even got the base in. We'll pull it out away from the reef. Give someone a chance to creep for it then. A sign of good health for any of these reefs, even if it is a man-made one like this, is the amount of variety of fish. And we've seen so many on this. And there is so many pot roach running around everywhere. I've checked with Dano from Inglorious Fishing, and I don't think any of these are actually his. He has lost some here before, which you probably remember if you've been subscribed for a long time. I did actually dive through here to get some of his pots back many moons ago. There's places like the surface of the moon, there's divots and dents and scours and all sorts on this sand as it's rushing past these big boulders. This looks like a rat hole. Yep, the big males come out to say hello. These fish are huge. They're not scared of you either. Got a decent sized jaw that can crush stuff, and they've also got a palate in the back of their throat for crushing stuff. So they can eat mussels and limpets and anything that's in the shell. Crush through it easy. Let's take our head in and see what other rats are around. We're only about halfway along the Long Hoog reclamation. Awesome when you get a bit of a drift dive because it just carries you along nicely. It's not going to be long before we're going to have to pull the plug on this because we're starting to run out of air. Been almost 27 minutes and only 8.6 metres of water. That's the good thing about these shallow dives, you can do them for a long time. What I want to do is think about Matt picking us up on the boat. I don't want him coming right in close to the reef. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick our way off away from the reef and go out onto the sand, probably across the sand into the small channel between Torrode and Long Hoog, and I know it gets very reefy there, and we'll take a drift over that reef so when Matt picks us up we're well away. Quite sure what this is. Well, apart from being a completely battered crab pot. Don't know how it can be so deformed. The tide's pretty strong down here, but this is absolutely pulverised. I think I'm going to follow this cable, see where it goes to. It's heading in the direction we're travelling anyway. Might be some decent pots on this. If there is, I'll cut the rope and then send one end up with my lift bag and then we can winch them up. Well, the answer to that one is definitely no. Looks like someone's made this out of a produce basket. You know them plastic tubs that you get oranges or apples in? Look how light it is. Just floating on its own. Might as well carry on following it. See where it goes for a laugh. Bit of a merry-go-round on that one. Round the mulberry bush. No way this is going to come undone. The cable actually looks okay. The rope itself, well, maybe not. When it's got seaweed growing through it, it's never good. This one's been down here a while. There's a whole garden growing on it. And this cable is just running all over the shop. This has seen some change of tides, I reckon. North, south, north, south, north, south. It's just wrapped itself around these big boulders. Not a chance in how you're going to get any of this up. Especially winching it anyway. Right, we're well and truly out of air now, so we've decided to come up. And because we're only shallow, we can still see the bottom, and it's amazing how fast you're travelling doing your safety stop. Imagine how good it would have been if the sun was out. It's a shame it's overcast. But we've actually ended up where we started originally before we got back in the boat and went around the corner. Back to the same location. Quick change of the tanks, Matt's in the water. So our last one, we've done the first part near the tower, that white and black lined conical tower there, that's called Vivian. We've done one in there, and then because the tide was punching this way, we couldn't swim up it, so we got back in the boat, went around the corner, and then we come back. Good. Loads of bream. I think I've seen 3 or 4 different varieties of bream. At least 3. Cooches, banded and black, and I think I've seen a gilthead. Tell which ones we got. Got the ones with the barnacles. Not bad size. Tide's coming this way now, so Matt got in up here, streaming down there. Only 22 metres of water, but it's sand down here, and there's a
a sandbank that sort of wraps around here.
Because we've got next to no scallops and we're not going to get invited unless we have at least 2 dozen each, we've had to go back down again. Some old fishing nets. We've seen some similar to this down at Fermain. There's actually quite a few that look like this. Obviously people have been out, I think they're gill nets, and we lost them. Yes, we're straight onto the scallops. Down to the first waste pipe already, that was pretty quick. And there's another crab pot. And it looks like there's a scallop sitting up against it. Is it a full one? Yep, it's a keeper. See a little coma trying to look after it. That's big enough to take. I always think there's going to be octopuses in these, but apparently according to the fishermen, they don't like to go in the inkwells. They like to go in the smaller parlour pots where they feel a little bit safer. Anyone ever wanted to know where our wrasse sleeps? Well, here you go. There's one here. Another big strawberry one. Sorry to annoy you, we'll make our way on. Oh, I know exactly where I am now. This is a big concrete cube. I think this used to be one of the moorings for when they were building running that pipe out. I've seen this so many times now. The chances of seeing this is quite slim when you're diving down through the same area, believe it or not. I was once told by an old fisherman that there's enough rope lost in the sea around Guernsey to go to the moon and back 12 times. Not sure it's quite true, given the fact it was an old fisherman that told me, but probably sounds about right. Alright, I feel a bit sad now because I know I'm going to have to swim over this reef. There's no way I can swim down the inside or the outside. This reef is absolutely huge. You're probably talking maybe 25 metres in either direction. So we're just going to have to swim over the top. It's unfortunate because I know I'm not going to get any scallops because you never normally get scallops on rocks, or certainly in between the reef. But one thing I will get here is cannonballs. So I have to keep an eye out for them. Sure there's an octopus in there, but we ain't really got time to look, so we'll carry on. Ah, it looks like the end of the reef, that's good. That's probably one of the easiest cannonball spots I think I've ever done. It actually looks like a cannonball. It's still round for a start. So if we just waft this sand out the way, we would expose it a bit better. Doesn't take long to waft it out the way. It's docked to the reef, so it's basically landed here before there was sand, and it's now stock or concreted to the reef. So we've just got to knock it out of its cocoon-like skin, because that's all we're going to take. We're not going to take the extra weight of the skin as well. And there we go. Perfect little cannonball. Now don't ask me how much it weighs, because these things always look bigger underwater. But I don't know, maybe guessing that 12 pound, 14 pound, I don't know. Really ain't got a clue. Now we just need to smash it out of its cross and get it off the reef. I don't even know if I'm going to bother taking this. Yeah, Mish is getting involved now. She's giving it a whack. Won't take long with two of us on it. This has probably been down here since about the 1860s. Certainly it was used or fired before the 1900s. I dare get my hands in the way with Mish with that. She'll probably end up smacking me. And there we go, it's loose. That's the worst thing about it, you get black stuff all over your hands.
That's a nice one.
There's absolutely thousands of these around here. They must have had a right old laugh firing them out. One of the militias did have practice weekly, and there's a couple hundred shots fired out weekly for months and months, if not years and years. You see that? That's where it was stuck. It wasn't just the militia, it was the British Army as well. Well, mostly the British Army. Where did Mish find a brick down here? Crazy. We better hurry up because we've wasted a couple of minutes getting that cannonball. And we need to get at least 2 dozen scallops. Plenty of sharks around here, but they're no hassle. And another thing which I've never seen before, Mish just pointed out a stingray. There it is. Oh yeah, and the quality is really bad because I'm now back on the GoPro. Unfortunately I had to stop filming, and the fact I had a massive heavy cannonball in my bag as well. But I think we've done alright.
Hey! We got a few. Mish has got herself another cannonball, so I don't want to touch because it goes black. Size the scallops quick. We were just chucking them in each other's bags then, so the numbers aren't going to reflect the true amount we caught. But Mish definitely beat me then, that's for sure. Without a doubt. Gauge him. Matt's had a low ball, looks of it. That's not bad for us, considering they're all at the end of the dive. Up until the cannonball incident, I think I had probably 3. Didn't quite beat Matt, but there's a crate for Richard. Come out at high tide and going back at low tide. This is what I mean by south going tide isn't as good as a north going tide. South going tide means it's dropping. Look how low it is. Pretty much 45 degree carrying all our gear back up.
Thanks for joining us on another tide. If you like that, please put a thumbs up, please comment, and please share. Thanks a lot, and I'll catch you on the next tide.